Hello, fellow Toastmasters. It's summertime. Consider you have arranged a wonderful trip. You have got a vacation from the work after so long, and here we go. You made immaculate planning for the trip. All the things has been arranged, and suddenly, what happened? Weather changed. Hurricane is coming. All the plan got flopped. If you are going on the cruise, you should have anticipated and planned accordingly. You must have a plan B. If you don't have a change management plan, a big disappointment is inevitable. Nothing is rigid in this universe. Everything changes. It changes in phases, and we must plan for it. Change is integral part of our life. There are scientific ways in today's management concept about managing change. Historically, say 100 to 50 years back, in the factory production environments, they used to be very rigid. Let's consider a new launch of a Ford car. The project manager won't accept any change in the design or timeline when it comes on the product line. They will produce it as per the plan. Whatever is produced will be sold. And if it gets flopped, then they will think about next design of a new model. They will start a new project, but they won't make anything change in the existing one. There won't be any recalls or changes are possible. Customers were not that agile or active at that time. They will accept what you produce, but not today's customers. There are reviews, comparisons, competitions, and change and dynamism is inevitable. But people or some of the organizations, they will try to resist every little change. Bureaucracy is the greatest example. If you go to them for any change, then this is not possible. That's the answer you will get. Project manager resist any change and continue to do as a BAU process or business as usual process. This phenomenon happens because they are only comfortable in what is established in what they are doing. But they will always push back in every change for they are not comfortable with. There is a greatest examples of one of project. Everybody is aware of it. It was in Alaska. They were building a bridge. Continuous work was going on. It was designed, the contractors, suppliers, everybody was working. But there was a political opposition to the project, and stakeholders wanted a road rather than a bridge. But the work on the bridge was continued as planned. But bridge was never completed. Rather, they abandoned it and create a new project after a big approval. This is the greatest example of bureaucracy because there was not really change management process applied, and then the people were kept on doing what they were as an ongoing thing. Our focus of change management is on the corporate project work. We have to understand what is importance and why the change comes and how you managed it. If you don't manage change or do not accept any change, then you will be stalled and the competition will overrun you. So let's understand how the change comes. Point number one, change will come from the owner of the project or the stakeholders of the project. Suppose stakeholders change their mind. They wanted to add new features or remove existing planned features or change certain things. If they want to, that's how the change comes. Point number two, circumstances changes. So if you are developing a product, but your competitors are ahead in the market on what you're doing it, the change is inevitable to accelerate it or change according to the competition. Third thing comes because of the technology changes or infrastructure needs more attention. So that's how the change comes. Fourth and more are the environment changes, mother nature changes, resource availability, and so on. That's how the change will get introduced. Different types of projects will manage the change differently. What is project? Project is an endeavor which has start date and end date. How project propagates? Project will be conceptualized by the project sponsor. Then they will introduce the stakeholders and the project manager will be appointed. And then project charter will be defined. Project will walk through stakeholders analysis, design, scope, schedule, budget, communication, team building, risk, quality, and so on. Change management will cost differently depending upon which stage the change gets introduced and how it is managed. That's why communication or continuous communication in the project is the key to successfully manage any change. There are agile project management. They say that every day the stakeholders and the project team needs to be coordinating and they need to explain what they did yesterday, what they are doing today, and what are the impediments. Understanding the quality risk impediments and the progress every day will make sure customers will understand the risk, impact, cost, all the factors if they want to introduce any change. Properly guided change management procedures will help customers to make their mind. Whenever change comes, project manager should not resist it. Rather, he should do the clear impact analysis and clearly communicate the impact on budget, timeline, resources, quality, risk, and anything else as applicable. So that will make sure the stakeholders can take a guided decision. This was the change management procedure for the projects. There are different things like operations. Operations are different from the projects in the sense that they are ongoing process. They won't have a start date and end date. Rather, it will be an ongoing thing. So it is a different way how we do the change management. For today's massive operation environments, we need to have many tools, techniques, technology, and procedures to apply the changes, which may be planned or certain times unplanned, such as emergency changes. CMO procedures can ensure that it will avoid breakdowns, the critical vital operation. And if inevitably breakdown occurs, then CMO procedures will have the tools in their kitty to minimize the downtime and clearly explain the communication plan to keep the users and stakeholders informed about the status, which will minimize the dissatisfaction. Change management is extremely important, but it has been extremely misunderstood. It has been considered as a bureaucratic function. it has been considered as like a tool to resist the change by adding the bureaucracy, but it is not so. It has its own function and critical significance. A properly managed CMO is extremely essential for all types of projects. Thank you.